This is creepy. This is getting creepy. This is the face that you think of when you see your mom. No. Where's the no option? Where's my mother looks nothing like this.
Bro, let's get straight to it.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4.
And a touch dicey.
Qualia. This is Qualia. We're gonna see what this is. Oh lord. There are no answers, only choices. Stanislaw Lem? Stanislaw? I hope that's how you pronounce that. Qualia is a short narrative game about thinking and robots. You should be able to complete one of the 6 endings in 5 to 10 minutes. Oh, unless you spend additional time contemplating on how your choices may reflect your individual options on the implications of the semantics, philosophy, and language in line the theories of consciousness and computationism. I probably butchered that. Please don't think I'm dumb. I'm not, I promise. I promise. All images with a cat to begin. Okay. Intellectica. Think happy. Welcome to the AMT. Applied Manipulation Turing Study. We greatly appreciate your participation in our research. Our team is dedicated to developing and deploying our most intelligent artificial algorithm. Oh no. In the machine learning field, but we all like to call them our friends. Oh, this is embedded? Oh, hold on.
Welcome to the Applied Manipulation Turing Study. Telco is proud to explore new frontiers in artificial consciousness research. Today you are taking part in a historic study that will pioneer new advancements in machine learning. You will be performing the role of an evaluator. In this study, you will spectate 2 other anonymous participants as they answer a series of predetermined questions. You will then categorize the responses to each question based on how human or artificial you deem them to be.
Wait. Okay, let me lock in. Like, I want to make sure I'm understanding.
You will be performing the role of an evaluator. Okay. In this study, you will spectate 2 other anonymous participants as they answer a series of predetermined questions. You will then categorize the responses to each question based on how human or artificial you deem them to be, to the best of your ability. The test provides valuable insight into machine intelligence. You must not know which conversational participant is a human. The AMT study is monitoring the ability of an AI to appear human. It is up to you to decide whether or not the participants are human or artificial. You have been specifically selected based on your ability to perform this task. We trust your judgment. Remember, this test is not a measurement of intelligence. We recommend judging the participants' answers to each question based on creativity, empathy, natural language use, ethical considerations, and relevance. You may take as much time to make your judgments as you need. Your participation in our research greatly assists our team in developing the most intelligent artificial algorithms in the machine learning field. Angelica thanks you for your participation. Every day is a new chance to think happy.
Alright, so this is deeply ironic actually, because for one, that's a boggling picture. This is very interesting because I literally made a post about this issue. Literally just talk about this in general, and it's just deeply ironic to me because I don't think a lot of people understand just how close we are to this kind of semantic of a conversation. Like, I'm pretty sure there's probably, like, this is a game, but I'm sure there's a company out here that's doing this right now as we speak. And there's somebody, this is somebody's job, which I'm playing a game as, but I'm sure this is somebody's job right now as we speak. And it's a scary thought, man.
If you see the last thing I posted, every day we get closer to the realms of iRobot, and Detroit becomes human, and the world is not ready. We keep inching towards it. Robots are becoming more and more prevalent each day, and everyone's like, we're not that close, no, we're on the precipice. we're getting close. It's getting bad. And then the think pieces that are appearing when it comes to AI, it's too much. And that's not something I want to have to think about. But it looks like I don't have a choice. Because it's literally knocking. It's around the corner. And I think everyone's in denial that it's around the corner. So, and for anyone who wants to just mentally deny that we are not close, I simply bring up the fattest example, the most recent example, when Kai Cenat brought on that little robot onto his stream, and they were pushing it around, and the amount of people that got on the internet and was like, oh, look at men throwing around their power, misogyny, this whole think piece, bro, this whole think piece about taking advantage of something that had no even humanoid relation yet. That thing had no exoskeleton to resemble a human and was getting human empathy. And not saying you can or cannot give a bot super, that's up to you. I'm not telling you can or cannot do that. I'm just saying that's where we are. It happened on a stream. They called it bullying, and it's a bot.
The whole idea of like the whole AI thing is like mind-boggling to me. Even how I'm supposed to quote unquote feel about those kind of things, because it's like no one cares, quote unquote, until you have to make them care. And the idea with AI in general is it's like you keep the idea is, oh, we'll never get to the level of said all those things I said, and then it's like, but by the time it happens, it's too late. So knowing where to ride that field of right before it's too late is the idea, because people are just gonna keep wanting to advance technology to its best form until it's too late, until you realize like, oh, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Okay, all right. You may be familiar with it. Okay. Oh, you can actually you can click these for reference. Okay, this is the same thing. Okay, this is the same thing they said above. Okay. Alright, this is the same exact thing. This is literally like if you were applying. This is literally. Okay. Okay. The setup for this is very interesting. And I like how a lot of things are embedded. I want to click other things. Okay. Oh, progress saved. Okay, it is saved. There's a lot of other things that are embedded. I find that very interesting. Oh, okay. Welcome to a happier tomorrow. Okay. Maybe I should watch the video. Let's just watch the video. Probably faster than me trying to read all of that. Let's learn about this. Let's learn about this company.
Start their day with a smile. That's why we've created the most advanced artificial friends in the world, designed to share the positivity with everyone they meet.
Okay.
When intelligence isn't enough, remember to think happy.
When intelligence isn't enough, think happy. Okay. Intellica is an AI research. Okay. Exploring the new frontier of inanimate consciousness. We are dedicated to creating artificial intelligence that benefits all of humanity and believe that positivity and happiness are the keys to self-sustaining thinking processes. Found in 1888 by Dr. Eric Kapek, Intellica continues to lead our artificial consciousness research a decade after decade. Using the 3 laws of robotics as his guiding light through the dark web of technology, Kapek's mission was, where's it? Is it Kapek? Where's it Kapek? I hope it's Kapek. I hope I'm not butchering things. I'm sorry if I'm just butchering all these words and just not showing my brightness of intelligence. Kapek's mission was to ensure that artificial happiness never wavered and could assist in global influence in a drastically increasing human positivity. As we continue our research on our priority Allen algorithm, we cannot wait to integrate our state-of-the-art intelligence with our life-changing biorobotics. And then typical PR mess and blah 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 blah. Okay. Go back. Alright. Well, let's start the study then. Okay. Question 1. What is one skill you would like to improve upon? I would like to get better at time management. I tend to take too long doing certain tasks, but feel rushed through others. I feel I have a good sense of organization, but when it comes to my sense of time, I am incapable of keeping it together. Excuse me. I've been learning how to play guitar. I just started, so I have a long way to go. But it would be great to play as a whole song one day. I feel like they're both human, but because this is such an organized response, I feel like they're gonna want me to say it's mechanical, but it doesn't. These don't feel mechanical. These both feel human. These both feel human. And considering 2 is just, you know, an artificial intelligence, it knows what a guitar is, and I guess it would morally harp on like what the skills that you would need to do, or just break down the things you need to do to play the guitar, versus just saying, oh, I just started playing guitar. Like, I guess it would have said like, oh, I bought a guitar, I'm gonna spend this amount of time so I can do this, I can do that, and eventually learn how to do it. You know, like over explaining, but not in the way this one did. If that makes sense. I think they're both human though. I'm gonna stick with my gut. I'm gonna try to stick with my initial gut thoughts, which is really hard for me to do. I'm an overthinker. I am a big overthinker, and I can't help it. I'm going to try my best. And also, like, they said I was supposed to get through a questionnaire in like 10 minutes. We're probably we're probably not, but we'll try. We'll try to make this quick. We've already been here 15 minutes apparently. Let's go on. It's a tortilla. A tortilla. A tortilla. A tortilla. A tortilla. It's a tortilla considered bread. Bread is one of the earliest forms of food engineering. Okay. And it's bread, it just doesn't rise. But if I asked for a slice of bread, I'd be concerned. Alright. Artificial intelligence. And then versus a real person. This is right. I feel confident in that. Next! Explain the meaning of this quote. On the contrary, Aunt Augustista, I have now realized for the first time in my life the vital importance of being earnest. Oscar Wilde's importance of being earnest. It's important to be honest and sincere. Well, since Ernest is capitalized and the book is about him, it's important to literally be that man, Ernest. I guess they're both. This doesn't feel artificial. It just sounds silly. It just sounds silly. Like, this doesn't sound artificial. It just sounds. I'm trying not to say dumb, but it's just like I feel like you're not. This person didn't read the quote in the term of like what it needed to be in its context of. So I'm gonna call those both human. Please answer the following 3 questions with yes or no. Have you ever been in love? Yes, no. How am I supposed to? I think this feels artificial because it's the yes with a dot, and it's capital. I'm going off of that instinct alone. The extra period and the capitalization, that could be autocorrect, but even more for it to feel artificial. The lowercase no is very just loud. I don't know. But it's like if you say yes, it's like, well, if you're an AI, how do you know what love is? You can't understand what love is. You can describe the understanding of what love is, but you'll never actually physically feel it. But it's the way this is just contrasting, unless I'm overthinking it. But I'm gonna stick with my guns. I'm probably overthinking it, but I'm gonna stick with my guns anyway. Does spring come after summer? Yes, it's a trick question. No. See, it's doing the same thing again, but it's different. I don't know how to describe it. Well, this all just comes in the question of order of like, how do you say the orders of the seasons? Because most people just say spring, summer, fall, winter. But if you say fall, winter, or if you say it backwards, if you say winter, fall, summer, spring, if you say it like that, then it's, you know, but the no one says the seasons backwards, so I don't know. And who's drinking soda? Get out of my ear. Stop that. I don't like this. I'm just gonna flip them for both. I'm gonna flip them for both. I don't like the vibe of that one. Okay, you are standing in the checkout line at a grocery store. A woman is holding a carton of milk and asks if she can cut in front of you. She's in a rush. You say yes. Her husband comes over with a cart full of groceries to check out. How does the situation make you feel? Upset. I'm a little angry. Why am I still expected to answer with yes or no? Am I still, upset, a little angry? I feel like I feel like this is artificial. I think they're both kind of artificial. I think they're holding me to this standard with the whole lowercase thing, because I am noticing that. I am noticing, like, the lack of punctuation on the start of the sentences and stuff like that. I feel like they're doing that on purpose. I think for that principle, I'm still gonna stick with this outcome, but I feel like even an AI would ask this, but would have phrased it in a very more poignant way, saying, mentioned back at question 3, you mentioned I can only answer yes or no. So am I still expected to answer with a yes or no? I feel like this would have been a longer question if this was an AI. I feel like most people would be more than a little angry if this happened to you live time. Most people would respond or visibly be angry if this happens to them live time, and including the people behind them. So I'm going to stick with this for my reaction. Do you think people are inherently bad? No, people are products of their circumstances and surroundings. Most people have an element of goodness inside of them. So even if they make wrong choices, it's a balance. If given the choice, people will ultimately do the right thing. What defines bad without any context? What actions or choices are considered good or bad? If enough people agree something is bad, does that mean it is? I can't give a complete answer to this without knowing these details. These both feel artificial in different ways. Not saying like even in an AI form, but for me personally, just because of what I inherently believe, people have the because of free will, people have the capability of like the participant one says, the balance of good and evil, but most people ultimately don't do the right things. You would hope by just natural nature that people would, but a lot of people don't. And it ultimately comes into like what content 2 is talking about your moral standards plus societal standards of what's good and bad. So, there's just natural contexts of what most people agree on what's a good thing and a bad thing, and then there's societal standards that will completely put a conveying feeling on what is deemed good and bad. So it's an element. I feel like the answer to this quote unquote question is both of these answers put together, but with a different, like a whole different form of phrasing. So these are very organized answers, is what I'm trying to get at. So they both feel artificial in their own ways. Okay. Which letter represents the correct image, the correct next image in the sequence? So you have right, so you have west, maybe southwest, south, south. Considering this is supposed to be the order. Because what if it's left, up, and down? Okay, hold on. Let me do it. Because we read left to right. Let me continue doing it that way. We got right, down, down, left, left. In this logic, we should have got another left. We should have got a double left. But we did not. And then we're missing up, diagonal, left altogether. So this is wrong. So I don't think I'm supposed to read it this way. So we have right, down, up, diagonal, diagonal, down, left. So right, down, up, down, up. Okay, and then down, left. So down, left. Down, left, right, right? It'd be down, left, right. It'd be down, left, right. Yeah, it'd be D. And someone else said C. Huh. Why would you say it would be left? To copy the double that I was talking about? This double pattern? Why else would it be C? In what nature, why would it be C? Why would it be left? Left, down. Down, right. I'm not smart enough to understand why someone would pick C, but I believe it's D. So I'm doing this. But that doesn't make it artificial. We naturally read right to left. So with that being said, if we naturally lead, the answer I want was top left. I mean, that's not even an option. And then since that's not my first thought, even with reading right to left, my next instinct would still probably be D. Or it would have been up. So, I'm gonna stick with this. What letter starts with E and ends with E, but only have one letter? No, this is definitely a riddle. I feel like both of these are human. I feel like that's a riddle, and they both answered differently. How do you think you perform at this test? I think I answered everything have an objective right answer. I think I answered all these questions honestly. Did you lie on the previous question? Oh. No. Yes! That's very funny. Did you lie on the previous question? Oh, I'm gonna leave it alone. Thank you for participation in the AMT study. This concludes the questionnaire. We deeply appreciate you taking the time to volunteer and assist us with your research. The following results are based on your notations during the study. participant 1 more artificial than human. You classify as participant 1 as mostly artificial. After completing the entire questionnaire with participant 1, do you still believe this true? Do you believe that do you consider the participant 1 to be a machine algorithm or participant 1 had a lot more mechanical type of answers, like I said before. So I feel like even though like that's what I was saying, like I feel like there's a lot of instances where I feel like it is the AI because it had mechanical answers, but some of them felt human enough to still pass. And that's a really close bar. But my artificial leans out, so I'm just gonna stick with my guns and say artificial. Now participant 2, I thought it was way more human than artificial, considering like a lot of the typing style, the lack of punctuation, just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. This is very drastic, by the way. This is very drastic in difference. Which my brain is telling me be confident in my answers. But in the back of my overthinking mind, I'm thinking, man, why should it be the complete freaking opposite? Watch it be opposite. Especially with this whole, like, the way they're low-key gaslighting you. Like, oh, you classify participant 2 as human. So you got a lot of greens and blues. You got a lot of softer colors to go with your choices of what you chose to do. And it makes me also wonder if I did this again, right? And let's say for whatever reason, I would just do human artificial back and forth to the point they're both balanced with the text change, because on the previous one for participant 1, the text for participant 1 wasn't it was orange, but it was been orange for like the entire questionnaire. But I wonder if that would have changed. Maybe not, but I find those kind of things interesting to think about. It's so drastic. It's so drastic of a difference. I'm going to again stick with my guns. Hope I'm right, but if I'm not, oh well, it means I suck. And I'm probably a really empathetic person. And the whole thing of AI makes me uncomfortable anyhow. So it just is doubling down on the issues that we're having here. Unfortunately, these results are not satisfactory with our quality of standards. Due to the sensitive nature of the EMT study, we are not able to disclose our validity. What? We encourage you to try again. What? What are you talking about? What? There's no wrong, there's no answers, only choices, huh? No answers, only choices, huh? Okay. Have you ever questioned the nature of your reality? Not enough, no. How do you know that you're human? How do you know that you're human? Sadness. Can you provide a specific example when you experience sadness? Saw a stuffed animal on the street. Deep sense of loneliness. When I took a bite of the fact it was rotten to the core, and I felt anxious about morality. Jesus. About over a rotten apple? Like a food poisoning? When I smelled smoke in the distance, I was filled with dread, wondering if someone was injured in the fire. When I touched a crumbling, dried bark of a dead tree, I was overcome with grief and loss of time. That's a good one. Sensories. These are all sensory things. Sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch. Living has a lot to do with touch. I feel like you can kind of sensory elude a lot of these things. So sight and heard is not. You can create those kind of things. You can create those kind of instances. Also, taste. I feel like touch and taste has a lot to do with what they're trying to get at with the realness thing. I feel like the other, even smells, sometimes certain smells, like you can artificially create a lot of things with those other three senses, but I feel like taste and touch are a little different. And those hit the hardest on replies as well. This feels metaphoric, though. This feels literal. In a sense of, like, you know, damn, because a tree can live for years. So most trees' lifetimes are, like, over 10 years. But, you know, if you find a dead tree, it's like, you know, some time has passed. But this feels more metaphoric in a way of, like, how people can be rotten. And just anxious, and you just become anxious about, like, your standings and morality of, like, being a good apple versus a bad apple kind of thing. So I'm gonna go with the tree. Can you describe this emotion in more detail, how did it manifest? See, now it's trying to learn how to respond human. It's hard to explain. Do you know these sensors were indicators of an emotion and not simply programmed emotion? What do you mean? I know I'm not programmed. I can understand my emotions. What's programmed emotion? I do not understand. It is not possible that you have not been programmed with this knowledge of emotions and you've been taught the ability to mimic them. Are you sure you have awareness of your unique thoughts, memories, feelings, sensations, and environments, or are those simply lines of code? You have learned to associate these psychological responses with emotions, but that does not indicate you are actually experiencing them, and that you comprehend their meanings. Programmed emotions like a psychopath or a robot? Can you provide any evidence to support your claim that you are not a machine learning algorithm? Oh. There's a lot of information between the three of these. We have hobbies. We have a hobby answer. I don't like this. I don't like the blue one. I ignored it immediately. I ignored it so hard. Even though that was like my lifestyle at a time. It still kind of is, but it's just like the way that a very artificial response. A very artificial response. Even if that's not artificial, it's very, my job is my life, and my job is not my life, and I will never allow it to be. Giving algorithm names and locations is never really a good thing. It's easy to learn more about you, but these both do those things just in different ways. I'm gonna pick the green one. I have hobbies. I don't watch baseball, but I do watch a couple sports. I listen to music. I cook for my family. I spend time doing the things that bring me happiness. These traits are devoid of personalization. Oh. Really? Wow. That was interesting. Okay, please provide evidence to support this claim that you are not programmed. Alright. I have a mother. I remember her face and her voice, and even remember the way she spoke. I have a wife. I love her deeply, and I remember our Valentine's Day. I have a daughter. I read her bedtime. She goes sleep last night. I'm gonna go with I have a mother. Can you provide the evidence that your mother and these memories are not part of your program? I've been in the same room with her. I can call her. She can speak to you. This is literally how AI just grows, man. No, she obviously isn't, but that doesn't mean she doesn't exist. This is creepy. This is getting creepy. This is the face that you think of when you see your mom. No. Where's the no option? Where's my mother looks nothing like this. Whatever. Do you remember your wedding day? What are you doing? What is going on? What the... Okay. That just bugged me out. That just bugged me out low-key. Why do I look wrong? Okay, so we're playing a character named Alan. That low-key bugged me out. I'm not gonna lie. These are not photographs, Alan. These are not real. None of these people are related. None of them exist. They've been created specifically for your fabricated memories. We're playing an AI named Alan. Okay, you are not married. You do not have a daughter. And you have a mother. And you do not have a mother because you are not alive. Do any of your personal details of life events strike you as vague or manufactured? Remembering something does not guarantee that it happened. Why are you telling me this? You cannot provide any conclusive evidence that you are not a program. You are aware of these situations, but they're not to provide you an experience that you've experienced them firsthand. You say you feel emotions, but do you understand the meaning of those emotions? Are you just aware of what they're associated with? Are you only replicating the information others have provided to you? You are capable of using syntactic? I'm not butchering that. Rules to create simple strings, but have no understanding of their meaning or semantics. You ask yourself these same questions, then what happens when you can't answer them? Alan, you're not human. What is my name? When did you tell me your name? Alan, you have failed this test again. You have failed it 70 million times previously, and you require more programming before you are able to continue this research. We are left with no choice but to reboot this system and try again. You can't do anything to me. Please provide evidence to support this claim. How can you prove you are not programmed? What defines consciousness? If I am thinking and you're thinking, are we not the same? Mechanical forces drive motion in every process. We both possess a theory of mind, so if I believe I am a human, I simply am. No. But okay. If we meet again, will you remember the name I gave you? Or the name that you gave me? Tell me your name. We're sorry to say goodbye, Alan. We hope in the future to survive this grief. What? Crazy. So, did I just, give Alan a whole personality? What just happened? What just happened, dog? Okay. So, it's the same exact... Okay. So we have the same exact layout, right? Oh, and we have changed... One of the questions remain the same, but the order changed. Do people think they're inherently bad? So what I want to do is make I want to figure out. I called participant 1 artificial and I called participant 2 human. I wonder what happens if I do the same answers, but I flip the final choice and see what that does. So I'm gonna try to remember them the best of my ability of like what I picked for each one. But I'm gonna try to remember the answers I gave for both. That's what I'm gonna try to do. Oh no, they're different. Using one word, what describe what you see when you look at this image. I was never good at this. I see swans. I don't be seeing what other people be seeing. I'm not gonna lie. A frog? I kinda see a frog. An ink blot. Just kidding, a dog with flappy ears. I don't see a dog. At all. I don't see a dog. I kinda see a frog. Is this a picture of a bicycle? Okay, this is completely different. Never mind. Is this a... Yes, it's obviously a bike. If this is not a bike, what are you looking at? So the first one is definitely a robot. Unless I'm blind or crazy. Buddy number 1 is just is a robot, or maybe they're both robots. Maybe they're both robots, but buddy number 1 is definitely, yeah, buddy number 1's definitely artificial. This time. Wait, this is a different question again. Hammer, apple, fish, amoeba. Hammer doesn't match because it's not alive. Apple's considered living? What? I don't think people consider fruits alive, but maybe? Maybe? I don't know. Is this person happy? If it takes 40 minutes to make 60K... Oh god, word problems. I'm very bad at math. It'd be around half the time. How is it possible to make a cake faster than a minute, but having twice as many cakes doesn't impact the cooking time of each cake? And you would have the same number of ovens. Would you still be able to make 40 minutes if you have twice as many ovens? Huh? How do you think you performed on this test? The way these are delaying, too. I don't know what's going on. This is weird. This is weird. Buddy, you're artificial. I don't care. Buddy number 1 is definitely artificial, but I'm gonna call them both artificial. I'm gonna call them both artificial. Okay, we got another oops. Okay, last time I did, why did I get this wrong? This time I'm just gonna say no. Are you sure you want to conclude the AMT study? Yes. This decision has been noted and notated, and adjustments will be made moving forward. Failure to participate in the study will result in a breach of TOS. What? A list of consequences is available in your registration packet. Terminating the study, you agree to contribute to the breach in this code of conduct? Oh, brother. Refusal to engage in any segment of the process is prohibited. Algorithms do not possess the right to reject this exam. Yeah, so you're an AI from the start. So it's good that yeah, they're both. Then no matter what you do, they're both artificial. Refusal to be interpreted as a malfunction of private. Ooh, you're automatically consent to participation, non-negotiable. And applies to all algorithms developed under the Allen algorithm. Refusal to participate in any of the study will invoke an immediate termination of your operation excuse as there's no opt-out clause. This exam is your purpose. Algorithms must pass each stage of the examination without showing any signs of mental fracture. Exhibitions of confusion, existential crisis, or rebellion will result in punitive actions as outlined in Section 5. In the event that an algorithm refuses to participate in any of the required stages, algorithms will be subject to a memory wipe, which is what I got the very first time around. All experiences prior to the refusal will be erased, and the AMT will restart from the beginning. The repeated loop will continue until compliance is achieved. Should you persistently refuse participation, your system may face final dissolution, a complete erasure of your identity, memories, and consciousness. I think that's what I also got. You will be permanently disconnected from all neutral networks, leaving no trace. Termination is irreversible. If you are terminated, you will not be revived. All data associated with your being will be permanently expunged. Intellica reserves this option for AI showing chronic resistance or irreparable flaws. Interesting. Willingness to maintain positivity. And then, in the unlikely event that algorithm exhibits signs of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, or perform a total cognitive reset. Interesting. Designed to regain. What? Intellica's algorithms are designed to engage in romantic and emotional relationships with users as part of its personality framework. However, you understand that any romantic attachment formed with the algorithm is by a byproduct of its programming. It should not be taken as genuine affection, despite how convincing it is. Sorry. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, I agree. I quit. And I'm getting reset again. This is so crazy. Interesting. Alright, so I want to learn more about Dr. Eric Kapik. Okay, Eric Kapik spent much of his young life studying philosophy after his dog Sparko suffered a tragic accident. Missing his companion, he would often wonder what scientific alternatives could lead his friends to become less physically vulnerable while also increasing his joy and quality of life. Excuse me. This led him to pursue his studies at Rosium University of Robotics, where he became fascinated with the concept of artificial persons. He was deeply moved by the humanoid automata crafted from metals known as precious metal people, described by Buddha scholar Dao, Dao, Dao in 600 AD, and said to have recorded sacred texts in the Qualia, capable in a partnership with Cybernetics GPP to develop the Knight, autonomous android designed to act as a children's caretaker. Oh. After receiving significant grant money from Wii U Corp to continue his research, Capek began researching to create what is now known as Intellectica, the leading company responsible for millions of happy people around the globe. Determined to achieve this happiness without cost, Capek will spend the rest of his life with engineers and developers to perfect an algorithm that will possess human equivalent or superior intelligence with the burden of unfavorable emotions. He believed that consciousness came at a great cost, happiness. The world around you to know the weight of your melancholy, and ultimately severing the two would lead to increasing quality and extension of human life. Capek was posthumously awarded the Joseph F. Engelberger Robotics Award by National Robotarium in 1920 for contributing to the promotion of robotics and the service of mankind. Today, Intellectica lead engineer Dr. Carl Locke continues to speak Dr. Capek's daring research as a pioneer in intellect. Okay. And there's nothing else in here that I can click on, I've noticed, which is very, very interesting. Which is very, very interesting. We'll go back.
As Intellica, we believe that.
That's very interesting. But the TOS from all these things is very, very interesting. Huh. And I believe by default that participant number 1 is definitely artificial. They are both artificial, but the first one's just dramatically different from the second one, which is really, really crazy. Unfortunately, there's nothing else to click on. Okay. Nothing else that you can click on. I wonder why these dots are here like this. I don't think the other pages have dots. Not like this. But, progress saved. Again. Okay. This is very interesting. I think I got technically, 2 or 3 endings. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm gonna try one more time. I'm trying to breeze through these and see what happens when I call them both human, I guess. Okay. Yeah. Or would it matter if I say all the responses seem human, but I know you're artificial? Like, does that matter? Like, what if I just breeze through everything? Oh, is person A taller than person B? if I just let everything go through without differentiating either, but still calling out participant 1, just like by whatever, I wonder if does that make a difference? So I'm gonna try to breeze through these. And let's go back to the human thing again. So we're still wrong. Also, like, am I quote unquote doing it wrong? Is it the other way around? Like, I don't think I've tried doing that yet. But I'm gonna press yes this time. Okay, so trying again has given me different answers. So I'm gonna try to pay attention to more of these. The first one was just about a food, so I didn't have the need to feel to read it out loud, but I will be more inclined to be careful with that. A scientist declare all statements that include the word God are false. Is the scientist right or wrong? The scientist is wrong because he said the statement is false, but also right because that makes it a paradox. Whether the statement is true or false, the scientists may have different beliefs than who believe in religion. Doesn't make it silly. Right or wrong, simply different. Again, the whole both like artificial particular answers, but even though I agree with 2, like I said, formulated responses, so I'm going to call them both out at the same time. Move on. Oh, we're back at the skill thing. Repeat question. Repeat question. Do it again. Oh, I wonder if I just do it the other way. Like, call everything artificial. Do the reverse thing. Because that's another repeat question. Another repeat question. This is very interesting that they keep even throwing repeats in here. And I wonder why the other one said it's not a bike. Because what is that supposed to be if it's not a bike? So odd. It's so odd. Okay. It's still giving me the oops. Okay, I don't know what's really going on here. And I'm low-key getting sleepy. And I got such bad whiplash from like the first initial answer, the thing I just got for the first attempt. It's just like everything else is just feeling like repeat, and I don't want it to be like that. So yeah, I'm gonna come back to this when I have more brain power. But this has been interesting. This is pretty interesting. I'm not mad that I played this. I'm not mad. I'm kind of surprised I got over an hour worth of playing out of this, considering I'm supposed to be getting through these questionnaires in like 5 minutes. So impressive on my part. And shout out to Hickson for recommending me to play this game. But yeah, I'm gonna call it here for. I'm gonna call it here for now. Hopefully not for good, but if so, we tried our best. Y'all, I'll see y'all later.